Athletic Club de Bilbao is having a great season. What does Real Madrid need to do to beat such a strong team?
We're going to play an intense match. The truth is that both teams played midweek, and I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate Athletic Club for reaching the Europa League semi-finals. They are very close to achieving their goal of playing the final of that tournament at San Mamés. They're an intense team that plays well. We've had enough time to prepare for this match, and we want to keep fighting in the league by trying to win tomorrow.
How is your personal situation with so many rumors about your future at the club and a possible replacement? Have you spoken with the players and the club? We know you're in a complicated situation, and every match will feel like a final.
Well, I have spoken with the players and with the club, and we're all on the same page, which is to keep fighting until the end for every title we're still competing for. Obviously, we're all very hurt by being knocked out of the tournament that we consider the most important, and in which the club has had the most success in recent times and recent seasons. But that's part of football, and these things can happen. You can't always win everything. We all have the same plan, and I've never had any sort of confrontation with the club at any point, because we're all in the same boat, whether we win or lose. Anyone who says there's conflict between the club and me is lying. The truth is that the president has always shown me his affection and support, especially in difficult moments like this one, even more than in the good times. That's the reality of the situation, and this is how this club works. It's always been like this.
2 seasons ago, Real Madrid's Champions League journey ended in the semi-finals, and the club kept the same coaching staff the next season, and ended up winning both the Champions League and La Liga. Do you believe the same thing could happen this season, and that you could keep your job for next season?
I believe anything is possible. We all have to analyze the situation and think about the future. So we'll do that at the end of the season, once we consider the season finished. But right now we're still competing in tournaments we consider important, like La Liga, the Copa del Rey final next week, and the first Club World Cup at the end of the season. So talking about this kind of thing right now doesn't seem right to me. But yes, it's something we will obviously discuss later.
In Brazil, there are constant claims that you will soon become the coach of the Brazilian national team. How true is that?
I have absolutely nothing to say about that. At the end of the season, we'll talk about the matter.
What has hurt you the most about everything that has been said after the defeat against Arsenal?
The problem is, when people question a club that has won 27 titles in 11 years, that seems wrong. It's like trying to deceive people. That's what has bothered me the most.
You've always been a gentleman, and we know you won't publicly criticize anyone, but let me ask, did you expect more from your players on the pitch?
A little more. Well, the only thing I want to do now is thank all these players. Because thanks to them, I've enjoyed my time here, and I want to keep enjoying it because we're still competing and we all get along well. We're still united. So I just want to thank all these players because they've given me the chance to win 2 Champions League titles in the last 4 years.
Do you still believe you'll be the coach of this team for the Club World Cup? It's said that your future will be discussed and decided after the Copa del Rey final. What's your take on all of this?
What I think is that at the end of the season, I will talk about this matter with the club.
You say you'll talk at the end of the season.
Yes, because I don't want to talk about my future today, obviously. So I'd be answering a question whose answer is already obvious, but I just don't want to talk about that. So once again, I tell you, then we'll talk at the end of the season.
Would you set any conditions or make any requests to the club in order to stay? Do you have any demands, or are you fully at the club's disposal?
Answering that question would mean talking about my future, and that's something I don't want to do.
What is the most urgent thing to fix from now until the end of the season, football-wise?
The goal is to recover a good sporting feeling, keeping in mind that we've conceded too many goals in recent matches, especially before the last one against Arsenal. We've got the same problem as always. We lack defensive solidity. So in this final stretch of the season, defensive solidity will allow us to keep fighting in the competitions.
You say you'll talk at the end of the season, but I'd like to know, for you, when does the season end? At the end of La Liga or after the Club World Cup in July?
I don't know, I honestly don't know.
In recent days, multiple media outlets, TV, radio and print, have conducted surveys to find who's responsible for Real Madrid's struggles this season, especially the Champions League exit. According to the public, the main blame is placed on the president and club management, followed by the players, and lastly you. Do you believe you did everything possible to push for the club to sign the players needed for this season? Do you regret not pushing harder?
No, I don't regret anything. As I've always said, I have an excellent relationship with the club and the management. It's been that way since I arrived, and it will always be that way. Everything we've done, what we do and what we'll try to do, we always do together. As I said before, we've never had and will never have any kind of confrontation. So saying that I have a conflict with the club is not true. Saying that is misleading the public.